So team, today we need to talk about the difference between a trader who quits and the ones who do not and make it and make that breakthrough. It's a very, very important video because a lot of people, they don't know when to actually quit, which is quite damaging. And also then on the flip side, which is probably a majority of people, they then quit too soon. So I think it's very, very important because we are in a golden era when it comes to trading. It's never been easier to become funded. It's never been easier to change your life with trading, but still it becomes so elusive to most people that they don't actually think it's real and they lack trust in actual day trading. So I have watched many, many traders along the way. I've actually coached many traders in this industry as well. Some make it, but the most do not. So when people ask me, what's the success rate of the traders that you work with? Ours is quite high because we only work with a specific type of trader, not just a batch full and loads of hundreds of traders. So there is a reason that our success rate is probably higher than you would say probably across the board. But the difference is almost never talent or intelligence. It's something else completely different and entirely the other end of the spectrum when it comes to talent or intelligence. Now, you've probably heard this before, that hard work will always outbeat talent. You've seen that many, many times in many, many sports. And I always go back to sports because that's my background. It was my life before trading became my life. And hard work will always beat talent. Hard work will always outdo intelligence if intelligence is not worked upon. And in this video, I want to speak about some key points of what you can do along the way to obviously make this happen within you, even if you feel that you are at the stage where this is just not for me. Because I've heard that so many times that this is just not for me. And 2-3 years later, that has been a big, big regret for that individual because they've stayed in the golden handcuffs and in the hamster wheel. You know, the modern term for that is the Matrix. But, you know, I'm old enough to remember the first Matrix and I absolutely loved it. But the hamster wheel, the golden handcuffs, and then they want to try and get out of that 2-3 years later, but that's then caused problems within those 2-3 years. So let's start with the 3 traits that I see in traders that make it and traders that don't make it. The traders that are still with me after 2-3 years and the traders that are not with me after 6-7 months. Number 1 is the reason they are actually trading for. Why are they actually trading? And this is going to resonate with a lot of you that are watching this video. Why are you actually trading? Now, there's a great book and there's a great way to obviously break down your purpose in life. Simon Sinek, a book called Start With Why. And what I've noticed is people's why when they start trading is always the same. I want freedom and it's money that's going to give me freedom. I want to spend more time with my family, or I want to travel more. I don't want a 9-to-5, these types of things. They're what most people say when they want to come into trading, especially the traders that I work with. And that's my why. That's my purpose as well. But it's how bad do you want those things? Because everybody likes the idea of those things, but how bad do you want those things? So the number 1 trait is they know their why, and their why is so strong that anytime that doubt comes in, anytime that they want to quit, anytime that they feel it's not for them or anybody within their environment questions them, they know their why and they keep going and they keep going and they keep going. The second one is one that is very, very hard and I found hard for a long time. And that is very, very good at risk management. They accept the fact that it's going to be slow. They accept the fact that it's a matter of having the skills to compound along the way and not go for the holy 25R or try and make 10 grand in a day or want this to happen very, very quickly. They have a very, very good sense of risk management aligned with patience. And they're the ones that tend to do well long run. They're not here for the month or 2 months. They're here for 3 months, 4 months, 5 months, a year, 2 years. And again, I work with some people in our community and I speak to them as well outside of the community. A year minimum, 2 years, but the ones who only stay for 6 months, you don't really see them and they've gone on to trying something else because their why is not enough. And second of all, their risk management, and they have no patience with their compounding. because they want instant gratification. Now, if you can delay gratification, which is very, very hard in this world, I, for one, really used to struggle with that because I always want. And still at this time now, I want things and I have to kind of draw myself back. That is part of human nature. But when your why is big enough, it will give you some self-awareness of obviously to stand back. So number one is your why must be massive. Number two is your risk has to be aligned with compound effect. If you risk 50% of your account, then it's going to be blown. All right. And you go through a mental cycle and a psychological problem, and you build really bad habits. And number three, and this is really, really obvious, they actually like what they are doing. The amount of traders who assume to themselves that they like trading and they're just sticking in and around, and you ask them again, what do you like about trading? There's nothing really there. There's nothing, oh, well, it might make me money and, I kind of like it and I like the dopamine hits. I like it how I can just make money off a candle. And a lot of the things that they say is all based around monetary. Whereas the people that actually like trading, they don't really concentrate on the money. They concentrate on trying to get better at just reading charts and reading their edge. And ultimately, there's only so much knowledge you can understand about what's going on with price action, but you need to understand your edge. And that's where then the work comes in. The people who don't want to put the work in, they don't niche down and dial down and get their edge to suit their personality. They just go on surface level thinking, surface level trading, and that's not going to work in the long run. You've got to really, really want to like trading, be in, understand what's going on in and around the world to a certain degree, but understand that this is a tool to give you what you want in the long run. And if you don't like that, just like you probably don't like a job, but the difference is in a job, you get paid at the end of that. The difference with trading, you may be doing this for 2-3 years and sometimes people are still break even. So you've got to like something a lot to stay in it for a year, 2 years, 3 years and still not like any and still not make any money. So one thing I would say if you're watching this video and put in the comments below whether you are 1, 2 or 3, do you have a purpose? What is your why? Are you good at risk management or are you still trying to chase the latest car or the latest nonsense that no one really cares about? Okay, we've all been there. We've all been in our 20s. We've all wanted the best of the best to show off to the rest of the world when actually we probably don't even like it ourselves. But as we grow, we understand that there's other things that are way more important and actually way more valuable than what we want in life. And thirdly, do you actually like trading? Do you actually like trading? Because I love it. You can probably tell by my videos. I love working with the community and I love the people in our community. Absolutely love them. And that gives me my purpose alongside my other things that I want to do in my life as well. Okay? So that's the first thing. Now, what do quitters do differently? All right, what do quitters actually do? They don't do any work on real pattern recognition. They say they do, but they still a small amount. They don't really study the market. They say, oh, maybe this, maybe that. There's no clear definition of studying the market. All right, and ultimately, who do they blame? They blame the mentor, they blame the coach, they blame the group, they blame the war, they blame the charts, they blame the platform for changing the rules. They take no accountability. And this is harsh what I'm going to say and something that I learned. And some people might not agree with this and a lot of people won't. But 90%, in fact more, 95, 96% of the things that happen to us are our fault. Now, there are anomalies, there are accidents, there are this and that, but there are people that will break down how that accident happened and we was probably in the wrong place at the wrong time, doing the wrong thing, all that. I honestly believe that over 95% of the things that happen to us are down to our fault. Now, sometimes we know the risks, sometimes we know the danger, and we still go down that route. Of course we do. We have vices, we have attractions, we have things, we have dopamine that we want. We want to feel alive sometimes. And you know what? Go for it. Go for it, because I sure do. All right. But the fact of the matter is, we must understand that side of us as an individual. We must understand that side of as an individual. Then we move on to the role of the environment. Now, in the last video, I talked about environment. You must have a community, my friends, because that gives you that accountability in the long term. I don't care who it is. I don't care if it's ours. I don't care whose it is. Make sure you get an environment and a community that matches the way that you want to live your life. So if you want to live off the grid and live freedom and just trade, then I probably wouldn't get in a 22-year-old's Discord where it's 25 pence and everybody's posting charts of Lamborghinis and AI models in there. It's probably not going to work out for you, all right? If that's your thing, go and do your thing. But most of the people that are watching our content, they're not. They're thinking that they want to have a peaceful life, travel, go hiking, go to the mountains, do what they need to do, earn their money, and have a peaceful life. You're in the right place, by the way, because that's what I like, and that's what I want to do even more. So environments and communities are absolutely crucial, people, because quitters are in the wrong environment, and the people who don't quit find the right environment. Okay? Very, very important. Then also, you need to sit down and have an honest word with yourself and assess the path that you want to go down as an individual. What is the path that you want to go down as an individual, and what is the path that you are currently on? So if you have an ego, it's going to be very, very hard for you to understand the path that you're on and the path that you want to go down, because your ego is going to get in the way. And you can't have an ego in trading. It's going to ruin you. I had one for years, the most arrogant, egotistical, know-it-all athlete you could imagine. And that was causing damage to me in my life. So that is something that I had to work on. And some of you may resonate to that. Some of you might not even achieved anything and you think you're the best person on the planet. That's fine. We are special, but we're not the best. And that's something that we have to have a word with ourselves. And if you don't have that word with yourself, you're not going to know the path, because your ego is going to get into the way. So have an honest word with yourself. Have an honest word with yourself about your flaws that are coming into the market. Where are you right now? Where do you want to be? All right? And it's going to be a challenge, and it might be painful, but this is what's going to help you on these charts. On these charts, do not be fooled. These charts are a mirror, and they will expose you in every single way. So decide on yourself. Use these notes from this video and say to yourself, am I a quitter or am I not going to quit this game? And words are not enough. It's actions, people, that are going to be the big difference in everything that you're doing.